Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. What date is today? Today is 18th as other calendar, and the Islamic calendar was today is 1st of Muharram. And Islamically the new day, a date start from Maghrib. Even though the first Muharram will be tomorrow, but it started from now on, right after Maghrib. And today is the first day of new Islamic year, which is 1445 Hijri. Whenever we say the new Hijri calendar, new Islamic calendar is going to start, what does it remind me and you? What happened, why we are saying this is Islamic calendar, this is Hijri calendar. As Muslim, we must know what is our history and how the Islamic calendar was started. Even in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was no Islamic calendar, no Hijri calendar in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, there was no Islamic calendar. And even in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or before that, pre-Islam, and there was no set calendar. They were just remembering the years. If any big incident happened, like Amul Fil, and they just remember that before that, if they want to remember any day or time, they said before Amul, 2 years before Amul Fil this happened, or 2 years Amul Fil this happened. Any big incident happened, they remember that year, and they count any incident after that, after how many years this incident happened, that incident happened, they remember like that. But there was no set calendar. And also in the time of pre-Islam, they also mess up with the calendar, which was already set from the first day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this universe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Inna iddata shuhuri inda Allah ithna ashara shahran fi kitabillah yawma khalaqa as-samawati wal arda minha arba'atun hurum. The day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the 7 samawat and earth, heavens and earth, that time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided, and that there are 12 months, and also 4 of them are sacred months. And before the pre-Islam, the mushrikeen of Makkah, even though they were not, they had no belief in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they were claiming themselves that we are the followers of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And the 12 months and also the 4 sacred months, they were observing them. But what they were doing, they were messing with that calendar. Like 4 months is called Rajab, and also Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajjah and Muharram. These 3 comes together, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajjah and Muharram, and then Rajab. They were saying these 4 months, and the fight was prohibited in these 4 months. And whenever they want to fight, during fight, if one of these months used to come, they said, okay, let's change this month with another month. Okay, because now Muharram is coming, okay, no, this is not Muharram, this is Rabiul Awwal, Muharram will do after that. And whenever like Rajab comes, okay, we will not do Rajab this month, we will celebrate Rajab, now is Ramadan and Rajab will be after that. They were messing and playing with the calendar. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentioned there are 4 months are sacred and 12 months are there for in a year. And that was going on in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were still messing with the calendar that time. Even when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in 9th Hijri, he sent Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu as Amir of Hajj. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed Hajj in the 10th of Hijri. In the 10th, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam moved to Medina. In the 9th, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was sent for Hajj. Even that time, mushrikeen, they messed with the calendar, and it was not Dhul Hajj according to them. But according to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was Dhul Hajj, but according to them, it was a different month. But when in the 10th of Hijri, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed Hajj, and that was the exact Dhul Hajj month according to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also according to non-Muslim. They were still considered that that month was Dhul Hajj. When the time passed, in the time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this world, then Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala left this world, then Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala when he became Khalifa. And how many years Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala ruled? 2 years. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala 10 years. 10 years. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala ruled 10 years. And on the 16th of Hijri, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, there was a case going on in the court, and then was a difference of opinion between two parties. That time Sayyidina, it is a detail that case, but Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala, after that he decided that we should have our own calendar. Then they call all the Sahaba in the Masjid al-Nabawi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because whenever this type of decision made in the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, Osman, Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala ajma'in, they used to call the Sahaba, and then they asked their opinion. Then whatever the opinion was more strong, and most of them they agree, and they used to say that this will be, we will follow this order like that. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala called the Sahaba in Masjid al-Nabawi, and then he put his opinion that we should have our own Islamic calendar. And where should we start from that calendar? The first question was how we will start that Islamic calendar, from where it start from, like which incident or which big occasion we consider that from there we will consider that is the Islamic calendar is going to start. There was difference of opinion, different Sahaba, they gave different suggestion. Some of them said because we conquered Makkah, Fath Makkah, that is a big incident happened in the Islamic history, we should start Islamic calendar from there. And some of them said we should start Islamic calendar from the revelation, like when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced his prophethood, first revelation, Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq, came, we start from there. And some other opinion came, but Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala gave his opinion that we should start from the hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Muslim migrated from Makkah to Medina. That is the big incident happened, and we should start from there. And the hikmah, the wisdom we can see, like today, if we are saying today is 1445 Hijri already started, it means 1444 years, 1444 years ago, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam Muslim migrated from Makkah to Medina. And we remember their sacrifices. Whenever you see Hijri, it means the hijrah happened, the big hijrah happened, the big migration happened from Makkah to Medina, and then we must remember the sacrifices of Sahaba Ikram, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that time. And then it reminds us to read their seerah, the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the seerah of Sahaba Ikram ridwanullahi ta'ala ajma'in, because they left everything behind in Makkah just to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just because the order of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They left their families there, they left their jobs there, they left their business there, and it was very tough time. Even we see the part of the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially when he was migrating from Makkah to Medina. What was the history? We have to read how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left Makkah. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the amana of even non-Muslims, and non-Muslim they were together, na'udhu billah, to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But that time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam appointed Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala on his own bed, and then he left with Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala. His detailed seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we must read how they migrated from Makkah to Medina. And then during that travel, many incidents happened with Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran about when he was in a cave, the history of cave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, and that is the history we should read. But back to the point that Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala, when Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala gave his opinion that we should start from Hijrah, then it was decided, okay, we will start Muslim calendar from the Hijrah of Rasulullah and Muslim towards from Makkah to Medina. And then after that another thing was put forth, that which month should we start from? Which month should we start the Islamic calendar from? That was another question, big question. And there was difference of opinion. Some Sahaba said we should start from Ramadan, because it's a big incident. Allah revealed the Quran in the month of Ramadan. We fast in the month of Ramadan. There is a Laylatul Qadr. Many things connected to the month of Ramadan. We should start from the month of Ramadan. Some of them said we start from Rabiul Awwal. Why was the opinion of Rabiul Awwal? The birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Miraj. And what else? The death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Any other thing? It was not the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was not the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Actually the migration happened from Makkah to Medina. It was in Rabiul Awwal. When the migration happened from Makkah to Medina, it was in the month of Rabiul Awwal. That's why some of the strong opinion was that we should start, as we are starting Hijri calendar from the Hijrah, and Hijrah happened in Rabiul Awwal, and we also start the Islamic calendar from Rabiul Awwal. That was very strong opinion. Then another opinion came from Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu ta'ala or Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala. They said we should start from Muharram. What is the significance we should start from Muharram? And it was discussed that because whenever we perform Hajj, what is the reward of Hajj? What is the benefit of Hajj? That anyone who performs Hajj, when he returns from Hajj, he is like a newborn baby, that he did not commit any sin. It is a new beginning. And in the time, just imagine that time, the people of Makkah, whenever the Hajj used to come, they try to perform Hajj, all of them. And even the people of Medina, they used to try their best to go and perform Hajj every year. And this is a new beginning. And we can see almost more than 2 weeks or around 2 weeks travel from Makkah to Medina or from Medina to Makkah. And like if one performed Hajj, and after the ritual of Hajj when done, like on the 12th or 13th, when you finish the Hajj, and then you take relaxation little bit in Makkah, and then if you are living in Medina, if you come to Medina in that time, not this time. This time you just need 4 hours or 5 hours drive. But that time, at least 2 weeks travel from Makkah to Medina. If you reach from Makkah to Medina, it will almost, the month of Dhul Hajj will be over. But you perform Hajj, if Allah accepted your Hajj, it is new beginning for you. And it was said that we should start from Muharram because it is a new beginning. We perform Hajj, and then now it is new beginning. So we should start the month of the Islamic calendar from Muharram. Then it was decided that we will start the month of the Islamic calendar from Muharram. This is the history how the Islamic calendar was started. So we should remember the Islamic calendar dates especially. That's why ulama says this is farz-e kifaya, that we must know the dates of the Islamic calendar, because whenever we calculate Ramadan comes, it goes by the Islamic calendar. The Eidain comes, the 2 festival comes, it goes around the Islamic calendar. If you give zakat, it's go according to Islamic calendar. So we should remember the dates of Islamic calendar, and also we should remember, as I said earlier, the Hijrah happened, and we must read the Sirah, and we must remember that 1444 Hijri, years ago, Muslim migrated, and their sacrifices we must remember. And then we can see, because of those sacrifices remind us, and we must remember, if any time Islam needs anything, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Sahaba Ikram ridwanullahi ta'ala ajma'in, they sacrifice themselves, they sacrifice their families, their business, their jobs. If we need to do that, we will be ready to do that. That's a reminder for all of us, inshallah. And then that's the history of Islamic calendar, and also the first day of Dhul Hajj as first day of Muharram. As I said, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala was the one who started this Islamic calendar. Then the first day of Muharram, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala was martyred, and he was leading Salatul Fajr in the Masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then he was stabbed, and then he martyred on the first day of Muharram. So we also remember Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. We must know his seerah, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said many ahadith about Sayyidina Umar, Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. One of them, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. We must know his seerah, inshallah. And inshallah next time I will try to discuss little bit Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. But this is a reminder for me and you that we must know the history of Islam, Islamic calendar. We must know the history of Sayyidina Umar and the Khulafa of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes. Yeah, month of Muharram is the 9th and 10th of Dhul Hajj. It is important to fast on that day, the Yawmul Ashura. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever will fast on the day of Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive his last whole year sins. That's the reward. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he moved to Medina after Hijrah, and he saw the community, there was another community, the Jewish community was living there, and they were fasting on the day of Ashura. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them, why are you fasting? And they said, because Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was released or was free from Fir'aun on the day of Ashura. Because of that thing, we make fast on the day of Ashura. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, we have more right upon Musa than you. Then we will fast on the day of Ashura, and also he mentioned we will add another day. It means even though we can see the Jews were fasting on the 10th of Muharram, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we will fast, but we will add another day, like 9th of Dhul Hajj or 11th of Dhul Hajj. وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم إنا نسألك تمام العافية. اللهم إنا نسألك دوام العافية. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وعملا صالحا وشفاء من كل داء. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن نفس لا تشبع ومن دعوة لا يستجاب لها. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه.